Toast to Reality. You're on with Brian and Patricia. Who's this?
Hello, Brian. This is Dean from Israel.
Hey, what's up, Near?
Hey, I'm okay. How are you?
Good.
Good. And I see you got Patricia with you. I'm really happy to see her as well.
Hi, thanks.
As always in Brian's show, I kind of like reporting what's going on in Israel. So, would you like to hear that?
I would like to hear. Sure. Tell me.
Okay. So let's go. So today I went to the beach. Actually, I went to the beach and it was lovely. It was actually pretty lovely. I was so like excited and so like we're thrilled like emotionally with that because for the first time like after 3 months or so I saw I don't real living people gather in masses without any mask, without any alcohol gel or whatever, and it felt like just a big hug to the heart or something like that. This is what I felt, and I had a beer over there on the beach. I saw all kinds of people doing water sports, and it was the first time since this whole thing started, this whole Corona crisis started over here in Israel, that I actually felt some kind of like optimism, okay, with the people, and actually, like we still have like orders from the government to not approach the beaches and not to and of course wear masks and everything. But the good thing, and this is I think I told Brian in the past that Israelis are the world champions of not following orders. Okay, they're absolutely masters in it, and I think that this is what will save us eventually. Not the actual capability of not following orders. So this is what I'm putting my hopes on. And after I got back from the beach, actually, I had I think my peak of my flat Earth activity ever that I had in the last year or so. I had an interview with Mark Sargent.
Oh, cool.
And, yeah, and he had an interview. I got in contact with him this following week, and we got like an interview for about an hour or so, and I'm like editing right now, and it will be on my Facebook page, my Facebook channel, and I got it confused. Facebook page and YouTube channel, yeah, it was really lovely, and it was charming as usual, and. Tomorrow we're gonna go. Tomorrow there is the school in Israel. They kind of like we have a whole issue with the schools in the last 2 or 3 weeks because they want to get us back to routine and get us back to school. But there's like big problem because they want to keep the social distancing and the masks and everything. So they brought in the last 2 weeks they brought. Half of the classes to school and the kindergartens, and now they want to put everything back together, but they didn't give any solutions on how they're going to work it out. Okay, because now they want to they are separating classes and they don't have enough facilities to occupy all the classrooms if everyone will be there.
Is your school year? How is the school year there? Because here, even let's just say the virus cleared out next week, right? It probably wouldn't make sense to even send them back to school because they go on break in a month for the summer. Do you guys work through what is the American summer over here? I don't know, when do you get the school take a break?
It's until the end of June, the school year, but now they said that they will extend it until the middle of July. But it's still on negotiation. Nothing you can that is being said out of this government or the Ministry of Education can be relied on, because the whole in big commotion with one another, fighting between one another, and saying that all the regulations now are not making any sense. There's now it's supposed to be a week now in Israel. There's supposed to be a huge heat wave of above 40 Celsius degrees, and it's kind of they're questioning now. So now the regulations are that the children will put the masks inside the classrooms and outside. How are they going to do that with this kind of heat? It's really, it's a thing that they're keep arguing about it right now in the news.
They say they're even going to walk. Well, they're going to even walk children in schools when school in America comes back in session to the bathroom. A monitor will walk a child to the bathroom if they need to use the bathroom and monitor them as they wash their hands and then walk them back. They can't just leave independently. It's
Yeah, it's something
unbelievable.
like that. The thing is that the parents are forbidden to get into the schools. I wonder why. We'll still get to that. And so I can't really regulate and know what is going on in the school. They're telling us that they're keeping the regulations. I know the teacher is sending us all kinds of gymnastic lessons that they're doing in the classrooms, which it looks like really pathetic. And all kinds of things which are not clear right now. What are the regulations? What is the actual education, the Board of Education or the principals of the schools are really operating on the field. So it's just not clear in any kind of a way. And I think that, and I told you about the parents are not getting into the schools. Of course, with all the truthers community here in Israel, people are started saying, okay, come on, it's like it looks suspicious. And somewhere in this week, we got like a letter in the mail that it's now like the time of to operate new vaccines, of course, to our for our new children. I wonder why they're doing it in this time that the parents can say nothing about it. And it's really, I know, frightening for all kinds of people. And it comes up after like 2 weeks or so, I think it was like last Monday, that our Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, came over to give his, speech of getting back to routine. And then, like between the lines, he kind of like put in that he wants to put, listen to the word, sensors, okay, sensors. He wants to put sensors with little kids that they can be monitored. And every time that they will go near to one another, they will have like a buzz sound that they will know to stay away from each other. And he said it like on the press conference. And I don't know, I kind of like wondered why the word chips were so much like put it into laundry and got so clean that it was called sensors. But anyway, and still people in Israel don't get what they're planning for us over here. Okay, it's I saw the news. And he said that particularly first he wants to try it on the children first. Yeah, he wants to try it on the children first. It will be the monitoring group or whatever that this thing works. And this whole thing kind of like freaks me out, of course, as a parent and as a citizen of this country, as I saw like what they did for the last 2 or 3 months in this time. I spoke with Brian before about all the holidays that were ruined because of this Corona crisis. We had the Passover and the Memorial Day and the Independence Day, all kinds of holidays that's supposed to signify freedom and liberty and whatever, independence. And they were like shut down completely by the government with this coronavirus crisis. This week we had another holiday called Lag BaOmer. Lag BaOmer, it's like the 33rd of the Omer count. Okay, the 33rd of the Omer count. I wonder why they picked up the 33rd day, but let's leave it for another interview. But in the Omer count, this is like a special day that usually Israelis do the stupid thing by ruining the environment and putting on bonfires all over Israel. This is, I know, a nice custom if you don't like nature. But in this year, they forbidden doing that completely because of like assemblies and everything. But what I think the government kind of like expected that people will do, because I told the Israelis don't follow orders. So in one of the religious neighborhoods in Jerusalem, they put on a fire over there and they celebrated by the masses. And then it was the ultimate sign for the media to barge in and say, oh, you see what's happening over here? They're spreading corona all over the place. It's going to be the second wave now. Watch out. This is the event that it happened. Remember that. This is the beginning of the second wave. Because people are like now drooling over the second wave. Okay,
Right, they are.
Whenever-
They're talking about
Yeah.
the second wave as if it's a foregone conclusion. And also, they're going to probably make up fake numbers that resulted from the bonfire you're talking about as to the jump. And I like what you said earlier about they're doing things to children. Well, I don't like that. But that's how they will do some of this. They get to the children first. As the children go, so will follow the parents. And speaking of children in the United States and probably elsewhere, they've canceled, you mentioned all the holidays that have been canceled. High school graduation, different sorts of graduations have all been cast aside this year too. Imagine being high school class of 2020. Sorry, no celebration for you, no dance, no prom for you. I mean, you know, not that these things are super important in the scheme of things, but in the life of a young person, it's super important. So they're taking away all of our ability to socialize, getting to the children first. But it's good to know that in Israel and other places, there is a resistance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is a resistance, and I guess my children to I don't know disobey as much as possible in their schools to the instructions, because they kind of like absorbed for me. I think throughout this time with the Corona time when they were like in my place, that this whole thing is fake. So I couldn't lie to them and tell them, yeah, go over there and live this miserable life in school right now, and try to be happy about it. No, I couldn't do that because I think that the reality that they are putting into schools right now, the way that they're gonna use this virus as an excuse to everything, is just vicious. It's just nasty, and it comes from other places than stupidity. Okay, I don't think it's stupidity. I think it's like pure evil, and we should do for that, of course.
Yeah, the powers that should not be are acting on evil, darkness, and the people who are the order followers are acting on a form of stupidity. But we can't hate them. They've been brainwashed. We have to realize we were once brainwashed too, and treat them with kindness and try to wake them up if we can. If not, march forward, keep a positive vibe. And like Suso in your chat says, we need to ignore any talk of a second wave and stay open. We do. We have to create the reality, actually, by saying that we will not have to have vaccines in order to travel and get passports and buy a car. We will not have to, put buzzers on our children so they don't get too close. Our life will not return to normal, but it will return to something even better. We have to put that intention out.
That's right. Nir, I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to let one more person call because I'm going to wrap up the show. Okay, buddy?
Sure. Had a blast and have a good time. Thank you very much for your time, and take care.
Put your channel in the put your channel link in the chat when you get off the call, because you did mention you have an interview coming up that you were working on. So put that in the chat.
Yeah, sure. And also I'm going to schedule with you, Patricia. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Nir.
We talk on Facebook. So.
Yeah. Nir's channel is Ish News. If you guys can link it, it's ESH space news. If the mods can help out with that. He's interviewed a lot of people. He's had me on there. He's had Roxanne on there. Obviously, he's having Mark. All right.